Emily starts seeing the present day again, and now looks straight ahead in a level of seriousness never seen before from her. Julie and Emily finally reach the outdoor area, where Chaim seemed to be waiting for them to come, standing on the back of a street lamp. "So, you did end up knowing that I'd be here. Congratulations. Makes my job a lot easier. Chaim. I've been having this feeling for a while that you have some inhuman ability, able to give you enough info to make conclusions without ever having to listen to the conversation fully. And I'd like to hear your theory." Chaim looks at Emily like she's going to grade her answer. "Is there any chance that you might be that masked wizard from last night?" Emily asks. "Oh, masked wizards? There's many of them. That's a little broad to be accusing someone of being." Chaim seems to not be doing anything that seems suspicious. Julie then, notices something. Their figures are disturbingly similar and they seem to lean the same way. "Oh, you're the one that was at our house, believe me. Your poses are practically identical." Chaim then, closes her eyes and says she's right. She is the masked wizard from that night. I never expected anyone to be, dumb enough to somehow outsmart someone of my caliber. Had you even slightly more intelligent with that choice, I would have found it. Emily, appreciates being complimented by someone who barely has any emotion, and smiles a bit. I'd love to ask what you want to do with it, but... Julie is foaming at the mouth in disbelief at how Emily seems to care more about this grudge than finding out her intentions. "I want to prove to you something, Chaim." "Oh, you're on about that time. You took what I said to heart, didn't you? You got half of that right. However, you're missing out on knowledge about emotions." Emily braces her arms and hands into a fighting position. Chaim honestly is even more impressed at how Emily managed to outsmart her twice. "And you're going to show the power of emotions to me?" Emily says in a cold tone. As she says this, Emily leaps from her fighting position and dashing straight towards Chaim. "You took the words right out of my mouth." Emily engages Chaim in straight-on hand-to-hand combat. Julie watches and kind of berates Emily for being vengeful enough that she plans to teach her a lesson in her head. The start of the fight goes blow for blow, with them countering each other, attempting to knock the other away, but just rebounding back. Eventually Chaim starts getting serious without saying a word, only moving her eyebrows and changing stance to that of a ghetto school. The tide of battle changes slightly, with Chaim almost landing clean hits on Emily and dodging most of her attacks without even stepping back. But Emily knew something about Chaim's fighting style. She fights almost perfectly, like a martial arts champion. The only reason Emily isn't on the floor bleeding is either that she doesn't exercise as much, or she's pulling her punches. What's even more, if this ability to learn the truth is only working this good, there has to be a truth behind it. Emily continues fighting to find out what that is, using her own freestyle brawling against a refined style. The battle seems to go evenly, with both of them suddenly being able to lock fists and kicks. This goes on for a bit, until Emily suddenly yells while attacking. Immediately, Chaim picks up on this and strikes her straight in the gut, forcing Emily to be stunned for a moment. But she gets right back up, steps back a bit, and then, to the shock of both Julie and Chaim, Emily starts stunning her. "Come on, is that all you got?" "Excuse me," Chaim shows a slight hint of annoyance. Not enough to move her stoic expression, but Emily uses this brief moment to strike her straight to the side of the head with a forward punch, while she's speaking and has no time to react. This pushes her back. "Oh, cheating, are we?" Chaim clutches her head and rests it for a moment. "Of course we were. The only difference is that I only cheated just now." Emily smirks, having humiliated her rival in one way or another. "I'll tell you how your fog or whatever works. Once it enters the opponent's mouth or ink, you can read people or text at an accelerated rate." Julie at this point can't help but feel proud of Emily, even though she regrets not stopping this fight, considering how dangerous this could be. Against someone who never knew that you were a magic user, you would have wiped the floor with even black belts. Emily happily smiles to her. But against someone who's known you and a glimpse of your ability for 13 years, you are humbled. Chaim actually admires Emily's counter-genius thinking behavior. By doing something irrationally stupid, Emily tricked Chaim, a genius even without her ability, into taking an opportunity, and punished her for it. Is that what emotions feel like? But she didn't have time to waste indulging Emily, for she had to attend to very important business. Emily prepares a sliding kick, and even manages to start doing it, when all of a sudden, the fog swelled up, and suddenly Emily had trouble breathing. You forgot to account for one thing however, Inori said. What? If my fog wasn't just a mind-reading tool, but a weapon as well. That cost you this match. Julie holds her breath and runs into the fog, and gets Emily out of the outdoors and into the school to prevent her from asphyxiating. As soon as that happens, the fog disappears and Hein walks inside with them and checks Emily's condition. Impressive. This is not only the first time an outside combatant has seen my second ability, but also the first time it didn't take a life. For that, you deserve to know a bit about myself. Julie really wants to say something about being inhumane, honoring someone after almost killing them, but she holds it in and instead says, "Alright. I'm all ears. I am a certified and ranked wizard from the International Threat Destruction Order, agreed that only saints can join, posthumously or otherwise. However, their sons and daughters join the order the moment they are born. So your order has ranks to it, eh? How exactly are they determined? Well, that's classified info for those who aren't directly cooperating or allied with the order. However, I have been given a beak for the fog. What exactly do you call this fog?" Julie seems actually quite curious. The official name is Rescued Fog, although my fog also carries use for interrogation, and like most other people. As for my origins, I descend from a line of wizards, House Cephalou. The wizard family has existed for 900 years, by an Italian construction worker gone playwright, Jeremiah Sant, when he married Laphilia Cephalou, who had been a wizard for over 10 years, but it only became part of the order very recently. I'm guessing how that happened is also classified for safety reasons. Julie guesses. Yes, and even if I were allowed to tell you, I don't know what happened either. Only those of the Italian branch are allowed to know. Well, I don't want you to tell us too much, because I'm sure your superiors would get angry if they found out someone from the Japan division telling some random wizards all this info, right? You seem to share the same notion that I do. Hein warps off somewhere, with Emily recovering right after. Damn it, if only I knew she had a secret weapon like that, I would have used my flames sooner. No worries Emily, we are all fine. Though this order does seem pretty scary to think about. People with a better magic ability than Hein. To be fair, that is something to worry about. But at least Anno didn't fear anything. They both nodded. Having Anno there would just make her battle ready and wanting a fair fight, but it'd also result in her dying. She barely knows anything about her own magic, and unlike the two of them, doesn't have a creative mind big enough to get her out of hairy situations. But then again, Anno has more experience than Julie, and Julie's magic type is practically everywhere as well as Julie studying better than Anno. They wait out Anno's detention, the fight having only taken 20 minutes in total, and come get her when she's done. Anno is super happy about being able to understand what some advanced symbols mean. Though she asks why Emily has a bruise on her head, to which Emily just says Julie slapped her out of her posing habit. They all walk home together, relieved, but Julie already starts being proactive, grabs Emily by the ear, and comedically runs for the school pool, yelling at Anno from far away to study the book more. Anno doesn't notice for a moment, turns around, and is promptly confused and scared for a moment. But then Anno stops herself and says that they probably just wanted to have a swim. She thinks nothing big is happening and walks to Emily's house by herself cheerfully. She gets in and locks the door, knowing that Emily has the key. She goes on her phone to check the school news, in case she missed anything, and, to her shock, that teacher was just filling in for someone who had recently moved to another district. She still wanted to thank the substitute, though, so she got on to making a batch of Chibiano cookies, with sprinkles and strawberry flavoring. After failing a few batches, she finally got herself a really nice looking pan of them, and they all looked as cute as her. After putting the failed batches in the cookie jar for Emily and Julie to snack on later, she decides to, before dinner time, read the book a little. After all, it'd be rude to disrespect Julie's wishes. The book comes to life and asks Anna what she needs. Just some more fire notes, Tisu. The book declares that it's an excellent choice, and it flips to the fire section. She reviews all the stuff she read before about the fireball. She huffs to herself about how great she's doing, and how she'll manage to increase the size of them, and how she can use the flames she generates as a finishing move by ending them once they hit the ground. Until she turns the page. Tomo stops everything to comprehend what the book is referring to, having an extra confused face on her. And I thought essays were weird. The page she's reading is explaining that you can interconnect two different flames of the same color together to make a chain. The book doesn't elaborate on it anymore, and Tomo yells to herself. She goes outside and tries to practice it on the lawn, but she can't get the two flames to connect no matter what she does. She gets tired and makes herself a sandwich before going to bed disappointed.